All right, guys, what you're seeing on screen here is what the average man builds his life around. He builds it around a commute to some shitty job he doesn't like about, pulling up to the fluorescent lights in the cubicle, dressing like Toby Flenderson from The Office. I pulled this picture of Toby up and I was like, good Lord, that's actually like, I'm going to make a whole video on this, I think. Like, a lot of guys are Toby Flenderson out here. You know what I mean? But, like, this is what the average guy builds his life around. And it made me think, and I wanted to make this video. I've been wanting to make this for a while. The average man builds his life around a job he doesn't even like. Like, he builds the whole thing around it. And we're going to discuss it in this video. This is going to be more of a conversational one. I don't know if this is going to do all that well as far as views go, but I think the true supporters of this channel are really going to rock with this video. I just wanted to like present this idea to you, just discuss this. I think this is a really important concept to understand. The average man builds his life around a job he doesn't even like. And here's what I mean by this. Like, let's start with this right here. Where you buy a house or you rent a house or an apartment, something like that. When somebody's thinking about what they're going to rent or what they're going to buy, what are the big factors they consider? The first one is affordability. Can I afford this? Well, what determines what you can afford? Your income. So the affordability of the place that you can live, basically the place that you can afford to live in, is defined by a job you don't like. Then the next question is location. You're going to be like, okay, I need to pick something close to my job. See what I'm saying here? So the place that you are living is defined by how much money you can afford to pay, which is controlled by how much money you make at the job you don't like. And then you're picking a house in a location based on the job you don't like. It's like, well, it's close to it or something like that, right? So you see how like literally where you live is defined by a job you don't like. Continuing on, clothes. A lot of times clothes come down to like, affordability again, obviously, but then as well, can you wear it to the office? That's a big question. A lot of guys will go, like, they've got maybe a few t-shirts they wear on the weekend, but then they've got office clothes. So you're spending hundreds of dollars on clothes you got to wear to the office. You don't like the clothes, but they're office approved. And so again, it's for the job that you don't like. Moving on to a car. What are the big questions? Again, we go back to affordability, which is defined by your job. Then the next one is going to be like, is it good for the commute? I got to sit in traffic on the way to this job I don't like. Well, is the car good for that, And then gas mileage, again, because you're driving to work all the time. So these are the factors. The car you pick has a lot to do with the job that you have. If you're driving 40 minutes on a commute, you're not going to get some big-ass truck that eats up a bunch of gas, even if that's what you want. So you picked a car based on a job you don't like. We continue on. The friends that you have built around the job you don't like. You might be like, no, that's not true. Well, like, here's the thing. A lot of you guys might be in your early 20s. You still got a lot of friends from college. But as you age out of that phase, most of your friends tend to be people on the same path as you. And so what happens is if you're in this kind of job that you just kind of took out of college, you didn't have any plan, all that kind of stuff, and now you're just working some corporate career, well, you're going to end up linking up with people on that same life path as you because they're going to resonate with you. Your friends are going to be people with the same income level as you, which is, again, defined by your job. You're probably going to relate to you around work because that's what most people do all day. My friends are people that relate to me with our careers and our purposes in life. We've got the same kind of goals. It just happens that I have built my life around stuff that I actually like, whereas the average person has not, but the same principle applies. And you probably know this. Like, if you look around your life, it's like most of the conversations you have with people are at your job. The people you would consider friends are kind of like acquaintances at work and things like that. And this is also why the average guy doesn't have many friends, because he's built his life around this job he doesn't like, and therefore all his interactions are with people who are also on the same path as him. So it's like, like for me, with real estate, with content creation, with the goals that I have in my life, with my passion for fitness and all this stuff, I end up connecting with people who are passionate about things I'm passionate about. Well, in order to connect with people that you genuinely relate to, you need to be on your path. And if you're not on your path, you're just going to run into other people who aren't on their path doing the same shit in that same corporate life that they don't like, or just working some job they don't like. And so you look around and you're like, man, I have no close connections and friendships. It's like, because you're not on your path. Your life is defined by a job you hate. Why would you expect you're going to find great friendships in that environment? It doesn't make any sense. Continuing on, dating. Income plays a big part in who you date. Let's just be real about it. I'm not saying it's all of it, but it's a big factor. If you're making $40,000-$50,000 a year, you're not going to get the top level women. You're just not. Lifestyle from work will also factor in. That might be even bigger. If you're stuck in a cubicle 5 days a week, you've only got 2 weeks of paid vacation and you can't really afford to go do anything with it, well, that's not a desirable lifestyle for a woman to enter. And guys are full of shit when they act like women should love them for them. It's like, bro, you work in like HR at some corporate job. Like, why would you want to join your life? So you're not going to get the most quality women from this. They're going to look around, they'll be like, well, that's nice of you to invite me on a date, but the guy who's making $250,000 a year and he can travel whenever he wants just invited me to Miami, so I'm going to go with him. Like, I don't blame them. I'd do the same thing. Your lack of passion will also be a turnoff. The fact that you are in a job you hate is just going to ooze all over you because you're just going to walk around like you don't know what you're doing with your life because you don't like your life because you built it around some shit you don't like. You see what I'm saying? It's just going to be written all over you. You know what I mean? Like, I get up with passion because I'm going after shit I want. If you're not doing that, then you just look dead in the eyes and everybody can see it. They can tell it because the average guy just looks like he's just kind of going through the motions. He doesn't like his life, and that's just very unattractive. Women want to see a man who's just going after some shit in life, you know? So listen, I could keep going, but you get the idea. You know, I could discuss vacations and the fact that, you know, you have to plan your vacation around your boss's approval of it and all that kind of bullshit, but you guys get the idea. Your life is built around a job you don't even like. Seriously, I mean, it just is completely, you know, like every guy wants this right here. He wants the beach view. He wants to be able to travel. He wants to do all this cool stuff. He wants a fast car. If it's not a Ferrari, it's something else, right? He wants something cool, right? Something fun, exciting. He wants to date beautiful women. But he picks a career that gives him this right here. Like every time. The fucking basic ass house. Again, like, there's nothing wrong with it, but it's just like your typical little house, a little Ford Focus, arguing over bills with a girl because you're not getting paid enough. And it's not even the girl you really wanted. And it's like most guys pick a career that leads them to this. They build their lives around a career they don't like, and everything around it ends up sucking because of that. It's like they go off, they're like, I guess I'm going to get this business degree in college. They're making $50K. They don't like what they're doing. They can't afford anything fun. It's like you built the whole thing on a bad foundation. You get what I'm saying? Like the foundation was built on some rotten shit. Someday you will have to explain to yourself what you did with your life. What I mean by that is you're going to be 80 years old on your deathbed someday, sitting in the hospital bed, and you're going to be like, what the fuck did I exactly do with my life? And you're going to have to ask that question. It's going to come to your mind. You're going to be like thinking back on the memories of your life and the experiences and all this kind of shit. And you're going to have to explain what you did. Everybody's going to have to do this. It's like a memoir that will go through your head at the last minute. You're going to be like, what did I do this whole time? Oh, I went through the motions. I worked a job I hated. Shit sucked. You know what I mean? Are you going to have to say that you wasted it following the normal life path working a job you hated? A lot of people are going to have to do that. And they're going to have to cope. And, you know, when you ask old people, a lot of times they say, like, what's their biggest regrets? Like, they didn't go for it in life. They didn't follow their dreams. They didn't take chances. These are always their biggest regrets. It's never that I didn't play it safe enough. I've never heard an old person say that their biggest regret was that they were too risky, that they didn't play it safe. It's always that they should have taken the chances. Always that they should have gone after what they wanted in life. Because, again, you've got one life at this shit. And when you realize that you're going to die no matter what, then anything you lose, like even going after your goals and shit, doesn't matter because it's going to be gone anyways. So you might as well make your life worth something so that when the time comes, you can explain to yourself what you did with your life and you can feel good about it. You can look back and be like, yeah, I did this and this and this. I went on these trips. I built this empire. I dated attractive women. I had this family that I really wanted, and I was the patriarch of the family. I was the breadwinner. I was respected by my children. My wife loved me and adored me. I built this family, all this kind of stuff. Like, you're going to have to look back and be like, I did all that stuff. Or you're going to be like, no, I kind of went through the motions. I had no purpose, no passion. My wife didn't respect me. My kids didn't respect me. I'm dying alone in this bed, flat broke. It's like, what's going to be your life path? You have to answer to this for yourself. And you need to think about this now so it's not too late someday. It's time to think different. That's the big thing, right? So it's time to think different. You can't just go down this normal mindset of go to college, get a job I don't like, pay bills, die. That's what most people do. It's time to think different. We're going to cover that in this video. But before we get into that, I did want to let you guys know that the Life Maxed community group is now live. This is the school community I've been talking about a little bit on the channel. It's basically for guys out there who want more out of life. You don't want to be on that normal life path. You want to build a dream life for yourself, work for yourself, be in great shape, be attractive, live that outlier kind of life life and connect with other guys doing the same. That's what this group's all about. Here's some of the stuff inside of it, some of the courses that I've recently put in it, a course on starting a business and the basics of how you can do that, the 6 pillars of life maxing, getting into this philosophy of how you can basically maximize your experiences of life, doing cool shit, pursuing excellence, personal growth, all that good stuff. Here's some community engagement we've got going on, some guys just talking in there. We've already got a great community through the founding members. We'd love to have you be a part of it if you're interested. There's a link in the description to join. Now back to the video. So you need to understand that lack of intention leads to a shitty life, guys. And this is really important to understand because, you know, the reason you end up in a job you hate, there's all this talk about the grand conspiracies of life. And yes, the system is not really on your side, technically, you know, but like it's not set up in such a way where you can't escape. A lot of the reason you end up in a bad spot in a job you hate and stuff like that is a lack of intention. You never thought it through, okay? If you don't pick a path in life, society will pick it for you. And you don't want them to pick it for you because they're going to give you something you don't want. The system wants you to pay bills and die. The system wants to basically, it's literally like the Matrix. You know, I don't want to sound too Andrew Tate, but seriously, like it is like the Matrix. They want to harvest the energy of your body to use it to power the system. So they harvest your labor, tax you, take that money, send it to Ukraine or wherever the fuck they want to build the empire that they're trying to run, the global empire. You are the work, like the literally, and I'm speaking mainly to Americans here, but I mean anybody in the Western world who's working a job is in this position. The Western working class is the like backbone of the global hegemony. It's like the global world order is built on the backs of the Western working class. They want you to go work these jobs, pay bills, die. That's how they want it. The entire system is built on your back. And you get the shit into the stick the whole time too. And so this is why I'm saying, like, I mean, we need to change the system in a lot of ways, but I can't change the system. All I can do is just go do something different with my life and encourage you guys to think the same as well. If they have it their way, you will work, pay taxes, and take out debt so banks can make more money. That's what they want with your life. That's why you finance things. The entire economy is built on finance and debt. They'll want you to pay your taxes so they can go spend it on shit. They want you to work these jobs so you'll get your money and then pay it into the economy so that the corporations can keep making money. The whole thing is built, again, on the back of the working man going out there, working his ass off, getting raped by taxes. The whole system is built around this shit. And you got to get off it, right? Like, I feel sorry for people stuck in it. Some people don't mind it, I guess, but like, I'm talking to the guys out there who are starting to see through this bullshit. You're looking, you're like, this just cannot be it. And I'm trying to speak to you guys and make you realize you don't have to build your life around a job you hate, being exploited by a system that just wants to harvest your energy for tax dollars and go use it for its purposes. Careers should help you become the best version of yourself, not stifle you and keep you tied down. This is a different philosophy on career. Career is about mastery and purpose, right? If you're just seeing it as a point is like, I'm just going to get this thing to pay my bills and then just like kind of go fuck off with my life, you're thinking about life wrong. You need to understand that career is personal growth. You get into something and you find mastery. Human beings want mastery of something. We want to pursue a craft and get better at it. That's where the joy in life comes. You know, when I get better at making YouTube videos and I see the views go up, it brings me happiness. When I'm, you know, in the gym and I hit a new PR, it brings me happiness. When I'm selling houses and I get the deal done, it brings me happiness. That level of skill, the ability to act in the world in a certain way, it brings joy to us. So you need this in your life. Career should help you become the best version of yourself, not stifle you and keep you tied down. You need to view it that way. Stop viewing it as just a paycheck. It is a way of life, okay? Think about your life holistically and where your career fits into it. This is a big thing to understand. Just start asking, like, what do I want out of life? You know, for me, fitness is a really big part of my life. So when I think about my lifestyle, I say I need a career that allows me to maintain the healthy lifestyle that I want. Meaning, you know, being a truck driver is probably not the best fit for me. Somebody being a truck driver might be a great fit. You know, you get to travel America, see the world, everybody leaves you alone, right? You're just driving the truck around, all that stuff. Could be a great fit for somebody. It's not a great fit for me because I want to be in a place where, you know, I've got my gym, I've got my meals. Somebody might think that's ridiculous, but fuck it. This is what I love to do. I love to train. I love to eat right, all that kind of stuff. It's hard to do that when you're on the road all the time. It's just not that kind of culture, right? Like truck drivers, typically kind of a heavy drinking culture, things like that. It's just not for me, but you got to kind of understand this stuff from the ground up so you can pick a career that fits into the holistic lifestyle that you want to live. Who do you want to be and what do you want out of life? That's a big question you need to ask yourself. And one of the big reasons you end up in a career you don't like is because you don't know the answer to that. You don't know who you want to be and you don't know what you want out of life. You need to figure that out. You need to sit around thinking about it for a while until you come up with some sort of answer. Doesn't have to be perfect, but we need to start, okay? And then you ask yourself from there, what career path facilitates this? That's the thing. So like, instead of just saying, I'm going to go to college and I guess I'll get this job because it pays this and this is what they told me I should do and blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, like, here's who I want to be in life, and this career allows me to be that way. And this career will help facilitate that. You get what I'm saying? Like, when you ask yourself that question, it's like a self-actualizing question. You know, in Maslow's hierarchy of needs, for those of you who heard of that, at the bottom it's survival needs. You got to take care of your base survival. You know, you need food, you need shelter, you need water, all that kind of stuff. Beyond that, it's about self-actualization. We live in the Western world. You're beyond survival. So the reason that you have this existential dread at this job that you have no passion for is because you're not supposed to be just paying the bills now. You're beyond survival. You need to go pursue mastery, excellence, be everything you could be. That is where your fulfillment is going to come from. So you need to ask yourself what kind of career path will facilitate that. Okay? So here's how this worked for me, because I did take this path, and originally I wasn't. As you can see in this picture, I was fucked up off of God knows what, probably just alcohol and weed. In this picture, I just look completely ridiculous. For like 18 months straight, after like towards the end of high school, early into my college age, I was in this very much in a funk, right? I had no purpose in life. I thought my life was going to be that job that I didn't like, pay bills, die kind of lifestyle in a cubicle, be an HR manager at some point, something like that. It was just going to be like an awful life path that I thought I was going to go down, and that made me genuinely depressed. And so I just got drunk and high all the time. I was like, I guess my life's going to suck, so I might as well just get fucked up right now. And that was kind of the plan, you know? I was going to build my life around a job I hated. That was the plan, because that's what had been offered to me, and I had not thought it through and decided I needed to live intentionally. No one had presented these ideas that I'm telling you here in this video to me, and so that was the path that I was going down. But eventually I decided I had to change, and obviously there's a big story in this, you know, like I went to college, I started failing classes, I had no plan, I didn't like what I was doing, I had to look myself in the mirror and realize like my life cannot keep going this way. At the same time, I had been learning about entrepreneurship, things like that. A lot of pieces kind of came together and allowed me to start thinking about a different way of going about my life. And so what I ended up doing was getting my real estate license. And the reason I got this was, again, because it fit into my lifestyle. I thought about it, I was like, well, what the hell do I want out of life? Who do I want to be? Where do I want to go? And so I chose real estate because of the lifestyle I wanted. And the lifestyle I wanted was this. I was in school, I started learning about real estate investing. And so I was like, okay, well, I want to invest in real estate, so maybe I should get into the real estate industry. That's what I thought about. I said I've always wanted to make a lot of money. This career allows me to make a lot of money. Investing in real estate also, again, allows you to make a lot of money. I wanted to control my own life, so I wanted to be my own boss. I didn't mind working a lot, but I wanted to do it on my terms. And so with those kinds of things in mind, I was like, okay, I want to make a lot of money. I want to be in the real estate space. I want to control my life. What can I do? Okay, I'll be a real estate agent. And that was where I came up with the concept of becoming a real estate agent from. And so you can do something similar in your life. You just got to ask yourself, like, what do I want out of life? Who do I want to be? And when you get clear on that, then it's like it defines the career path for you in a lot of ways. It just becomes pretty straightforward. It's like, I want to go in this direction. And so you'll find something that helps you move in that direction, you know? Most people, they go career first, and then they let the career define their lifestyle. So like, okay, like here's my career, so I guess that means I'm going to be middle income, and that means this is the lifestyle I can have. It's, you know, a vacation to the beach once a year, this kind of car, this kind of house. Like they build their whole lifestyle. It's like, you know, I work 9 to 5, and then I have to work on weekends sometimes, so I got to work my fitness schedule around it. Like everything is worked around this career that, like at the core, they don't even like. And it just doesn't make any sense. And so I went lifestyle first. Here's what I want out of my life. Here's what I want my life to look like. And picked a career that allowed me to be in that life path. You know what I mean? This channel is the same way, by the way. The lifestyle I want when I kind of think about this channel is like I want location freedom. And by doing something online, that means I can travel and still maintain the career. I don't have to be fixed to one location. I wanted something scalable as far as the income goes. And the thing with content and online businesses is the ability to go from like, you know, 100 people in a school community to 1,000 to 10,000 to 100,000. Like, it doesn't really change the cost of doing it. Like online businesses are very scalable. You can make tons of money with them because the cost of replication, this is getting really into business terms, but like the cost of replication is very low. So like if, like for example, if I was selling an online course, if I sell 1,000 online courses versus one online course, it doesn't make any difference as far as the price on my end because it's a digital asset. So it doesn't cost anything to keep replicating it. So I wanted something scalable so that I could make a lot of money without all the extra overhead and having to hire employees and things like that. Build something with enterprise value, meaning something I could sell. An online business becomes something like that over time. You can set it up that way. I wanted to make 7 figures. Basically, I wanted to live like a baller. And I was like, what kind of paths can get me there that also fit into the lifestyle I want to live, the skills I have, the person I want to be? And I was like, well, it seems like I need to stick to this content, online business kind of like direction that I'm going in. You see what I'm saying? I all built this like I don't do this because I have to. I don't do it because I hate it. I do it because I'm like this makes sense as a career path for who I want to be, the lifestyle that I want to live. I want to be somebody who's a leader who can inspire other people, help you change your life, you know. And I also want to live like a baller. Like I said, I got no apologies for that. Like that's who I want to be. That's the life I want to live. I was like, okay, what careers can get me there? This is one of the career paths, being a content creator, being somebody who builds online businesses. This right here, this picture of me on the what are the fucking call car boat thing out in Miami, driving around that boat. I didn't have to ask a boss to go on that trip. That's what I want out of life. I want to be like, okay, I'm going to Miami today, and just leave and go. That's the thing. And I said I'm going to build a lifestyle where I can do that kind of stuff. That might not be the most important thing to you, but that was to me. Maybe something else is really important to you, but you got to ask yourself like, what's important to me? Who do I want to be? What do I want my life to look like? And then pick the career that gets you there rather than saying, what career should I pick? Because a guidance counselor told you to pick something. And then you pick that thing from the pre-approved list of careers that you're allowed to pick when you go to get your 4-year degree. And then just try and make the rest of your life work around that thing that you don't like. It doesn't make any sense to do it that way. Get clear on what you want out of life and build a career that enables you instead of holding you back. That's what I really want you guys to understand from this. If you're in a career you don't like, rethink the game plan. You need to be like, okay, like what could I do differently here? How could I get a better result out of my life? How could I live the life I want and have a career that facilitates that? Okay? Now, a lot of you are probably asking yourself right now, okay, I want to work for myself. I don't want to run this thing. A lot of you guys on here probably are people who want to be entrepreneurs. You want to build your own business, or you just want to work for yourself, be self-employed. And you're asking yourself, like, how do I quit my job and work for myself? I understand I want to do it, but how do I do it? Well, I made a video where I break this whole thing down, like the basics of how you can start working for yourself, the whole game plan. And you can click that video. It's on screen right now. Thanks for watching, guys. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you later.